Have you ever gone out to eat at a restaurant and find in the menu black beans and get all excited about black beans? And when they come in, they look like my grandpa used to say, habichuelas lavadas. That means they're just like a broth and the beans in there. They're not creamy, they're not thick. Well, let me show you how to make some beautiful, beautiful creamy black beans. Let's make them, shall we? Welcome to my workshop. So the story goes that the black beans were born in the Americas, or they're from the Americas. And a lot of cultures make them, but they don't taste very good, to be honest. Cubans and Puerto Ricans make probably the best black beans. Let me show you my version. So the night before, or a few hours before you're planning on cooking the beans, you should put the beans in water with a couple of teaspoons of salt. And you're gonna need a ham hock, or pork hock, or in Puerto Rico we call it lacon. And then you're gonna put that ham hock, smoked ham hock, in a pot and make a broth out of it, or in a Instapot or pressure cooker. Once the beans have been soaking at least 6 hours and you have your ham hock broth ready, it's time to start our beans. I'm gonna cook these beans in an Instapot or a pressure cooker, and they will be ready in about 35 minutes, plus a few more minutes to thicken the beans a little bit at the end. But the ingredients I'm gonna be using: the ham, onions, peppers, green peppers, oregano, cumin, bay leaf, fresh garlic, soaked beans, and obviously salt. So I'm going to start by grabbing the ham hock and taking all the ham off the bone and making some chunks, as you can see here. You don't have to be very specific or in sizes. Just cut it all in, and let's put that in the Instapot or the pressure cooker with some oil and start sauteing until the ham starts losing a little bit of its fat and starts browning a little bit. Then we're gonna add our onions and our green peppers, and we're gonna saute for a few minutes as well. So after we saute for a few minutes, we're gonna add the garlic and all the spices, the bay leaf, and keep sauteing until everything is well incorporated. As you can see, we're not using tomato sauce. We're not using sofrito. Yes, believe it or not, black beans don't take sofrito. If you want to add sofrito to it, be my guest. But the Cuban black beans don't add sofrito or tomato sauce for that matter. So once everything is sauteed and really well combined with the cumin and the oregano, we're gonna add our black beans and then our broth. We're gonna stir that broth in really well. We're gonna try for seasonings. Make sure you have enough salt and enough of everything you like. We're gonna add a little bit of vinegar, teaspoon of vinegar, and we're gonna cover it and let it go for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, this is what's gonna happen. Look at that. They're gorgeous, they're beautiful, they're nice and creamy. As one of the important things that you can see on the video is that the beans are not broken up or split in half. And that happened because we added the salt when we were soaking the beans. That creates a perfect round bean without splitting. But as you can see, it's a little runny still. I don't like them like this, even though there's a lot of flavor. The broth that you use, again, I use chicken broth with the ham hock, and that gives an amazing flavor to the beans. You don't need to use your cubitos, you don't need to use your ham base, all these things that are, sometimes they have so many chemicals in there. Just do it naturally. Make the broth and then add the broth to the beans. So I need to thicken the sauce a little bit, or the beans, and what I do, I just remove the lid from the Instapot or the pressure cooker, and I put it in very, very low heat for about 15 minutes, and this is what comes out. They're nice and thick, and look at how beautiful those beans look. I mean, these beans are gorgeous. The flavor of these beans, the ham hock in there, all the spices that we put in, look how thick they are, and at the same time, look how the beans are whole. They're not broken, they're not refried, they're not any of that. Their beans are nice and creamy and yummy. These are perfect black beans. They will put your rice black, paint it black. They're not gonna run all over the plate. They're just perfect. I hope you enjoy this recipe. This is one of my favorite beans to eat. This is perfect if you want to make a soup as well, and just add a little bit of onions, chop onions on top, and just serve it to anybody, and the flavor is just amazing with that smoked ham. Please Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and here on Facebook. It's been great doing this recipe again. I will continue doing all these beautiful recipes for you guys. Please comment, interact with the page so you can see everything that we're doing. And we're going to be doing some giveaways pretty soon. So stay tuned. God bless. Stay healthy. Ciao.